As we dey talk now, it don't happen again for Onitsha. I don't know what did happen to for our country. I don't know what happened to Nigeria. Almost every part of Nigeria one trouble or the other. As it is right now, it is now the turn of Onitsha. Reason be say the governor Soludo is say make the market not observe lockdown for Nnamdi Kanu again. So as it is right now, he has given them first warning, but they see move ahead to observe the lockdown. So as it dey now, trouble brekete for Onitsha. And this trouble, if cannot not dey, e fit lead to another problem. E fit lead to war, e fit lead to bloodshed. All the same, you get your own statement to make. I wan see make una make una comment. I wan see make una make una observation concerning the matter wey dey go on. Whether e dey proper for the governor to just wake up and lock down the market, or whether e dey proper for the people to be observing lockdown for the past 5 years every morning, no market. As the governor said, na the market dey take make some good money for inside Onitsha. So as it dey now, make una no just phone how dey look. Wetin be your take? Wetin be your take? For inside this video, I wan say make you tell us your take through your comment. I go show na the video of how governor Soludo say take talk say in as much say the people say they no go trade market on Monday, make market not dey throughout this week as the first warning, and market will resume by next week Monday. So na the matter wey dey on ground na be that. They tell us say for the Onitsha main bridge, e no dey easy today. People no fit penetrate Onitsha because of the issue on ground. If this matter continue, how e go be? I no know, but through your comments, through your suggestions, and again, your subscription to this channel will help us to actually get more details and information concerning the matter on ground and see the way forward. Join me as I present the video to you.
On Monday, I drove around, all calm, everybody in place, and markets bustling, the streets agog, and went down to Onitsha. Drove through the streets. In some place near Wuse, the traders were we took effort for us to even drive through because the traders were on the road, trading, busy, everywhere else bustling. Then you drive to main market, a government-owned market. Government-owned market, which is the largest market in West Africa, and the place was under lock and key, except a few shops that were open and so on. And we decided to shut it down for the remainder of this week, and it will remain shut down. After they have shut down this place for 5 years plus, there was this so-called sit-at-home before I assumed office. A year plus before I came into office. We've tried everything, and I will say a few things in this regard. So the purpose of this press conference is simply to, clarify a few issues as to what is at stake, why we did what we did, and why this must have to happen and even be deepened in the days and weeks and months ahead. Because we're prepared and because we see it as a big struggle for the soul of Anambra's future. This is a struggle for the soul of Anambra's future. I have the mandate of the people, like almost 80% of the people have given us mandate to protect and promote their welfare and security. And that we remain committed to doing 24/7 every day. Anambra is on the rise. We've secured Anambra. Security is firm. We had the best Christmas ever this last few weeks. It was as if there was mass return all over Anambra. All the markets were open, including on Mondays, even Sundays. And you won't believe it. Main market was open on Mondays throughout the Yuletide season. But then after the Christmas season over, we got to lock it up again. Something is happening. It's no longer sit at home. Sit at home ended more than 2 years ago. What is now happening with these markets? Because on Mondays, everywhere in Anambra, especially in Onitsha, on Mondays, the streets are open. The various stadiums that you have in the place, they are full with people exercising, cars on the road, social meetings, neighborhood meetings, churches, and so on and so forth. Street trading everywhere. Everybody is bustling because the earlier sit at home was that people sat in their homes and never came out. This time around, it's no longer sit at home. It's now plain laziness because what you've done for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years becomes like culture. We've become used to it. And therefore, by reflex action, we have to be aware. And we are redefining a new calendar for Anambra and the Southeast, that you are open for business from Tuesday to Saturday or to Friday, as the case may be, while the rest of the world has a different kind of calendar. No. There's now some deliberateness about what is going on. Some sabotage, criminal intent to keep Anambra and the Southeast behind. And we are determined to fight this with everything legal to make sure that we come to an end to this. Like I said, security restored, investors are pouring in. Christmas that we had like no other, where everybody traded every day, including Sundays. We cannot realize the potentials of Anambra without defeating this particular evil, because it keeps dragging us back. How did we get here? Before I became governor, that was sometime, I think, early 2021, they began this stuff, sit at home, which, was ordered by, I don't know who, as a way of protesting the arrest of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But when I assumed office, we engaged all stakeholders, everybody in the discussions. And we had several releases by IPOB denouncing the sit at home itself, that they did not support it. Various groups were denouncing it, but I think this was being reinforced by a group, I think led by Simon Ekpa or something, maiming and killing people. And so fear got into everywhere. And people decided then to obey, not because they loved to, but because they were coerced to. Tried everything over time to do something about it. We engaged. For us, upon assumption of office, I personally visited Nnamdi Kanu, everybody knows that, when I assumed office at his DSS custody. We discussed. He was not happy. This is what he told me. He was not happy about the sit-at-home thing, because it's like shooting yourself on the foot. It's like cutting your nose to spite your your face. And as we say, he who holds somebody down is holding himself there. The artisans, the school children that have to go to school, the artisans who make their daily living, these apprentices, who make their living on daily basis. You stop them from earning a living, and you think you are serving their interest? You want to turn Southeast into a desolate homeland, and yet you are fighting for them. Of course, he said that was wrong. I confronted him with these questions, and he told me that was wrong. Okay? So, Now you come, these other criminals were enforcing this, maiming and killing people on Mondays. Okay, we engaged. We offered amnesty program to those who enforce it and those in the bush. We also established the 17-man committee through Justice and Peace Commission, chaired by Professor Denkalo, to identify the remote and the immediate causes of the agitations, restiveness, violence, and struggle in the Southeast since 1999. And they have already submitted their report, and we're already implementing aspects of it, including setting up the Bureau of Missing Persons. We cannot, but then July 2023, and recognizing that much of the sit-at-home rhetoric was fuel from outside Anambra, we decided to engage with those living in Abuja, living in Lagos, and the diaspora, that you are killing the homeland. If you love Igbo land, if you love the Southeast, or you are from the Southeast, and you are talking about sit at home, there must be a mental problem somewhere. Because you are killing the place. How will the children, innocent children, grow and be part of the next century if you keep them away from schools? That's the people you say you are fighting for? That's madness. Because as I drove out here on Monday, here you are in Oka. You go to Oka, you go to the markets, everybody's going about their business. You drive down through Onitsha, everywhere is busy. Why do they target Onitsha and the Nnewi markets? This is something for everybody to think about. Why? You go around Onitsha, and majority of the people doing this are not from Anambra. Majority of the people doing this are not from Anambra. It's food for thought. And I will say that we came in first. We didn't want to come with any force or coercion. We had meetings, multiple meetings with leaderships of various markets. I was in one of them. I visited some of the markets, the main market particularly. I visited it. Asked them to open the main market. Because as you come everywhere else, I drove through Ochanja the same Monday. All the street trading everywhere. So anybody talking about, it's because of insecurity, it's madness. Because the same Onitsha, all the streets are filled with traders trading on the streets, but then they lock up the shops at the main market. They lock up the shops at the major markets. It's no longer sit at home, because sit at home meant you sat in your home. But now everybody is in the street, but doing everything else but opening their shops. This must end. But I don't think it's because of maybe lazy habit, like I said. When an abomination has lasted for a year, people trying to normalize the abnormality. Make it normal. Mondays, you do something else, No. The rest of the world cannot adjust to our own calendar. We must adjust to the calendar of the rest of the world if we want our people, the Southeast and Anambra State, to move forward. And I raised another puzzle. We've just discovered in main market, you have over 150 security persons working there. That's a subject for another day. So anybody who talks about, it's because of security or insecurity, but you have about 150 security personnel there. Are they working to secure the market, or are they the saboteurs? We will come to that in the next few days. Like I said, the cost to Anambra State is enormous. People think of about revenue to government. Absolute nonsense. Even main market generates absolute pittance. Contribution to state revenues, absolute pittance. Relative to the potentials there. They pay little and very little. I'm talking about the larger economy. The traders themselves. That each day that you don't go to market, you don't know how many businesses that you've lost. You don't know how many businesses are moving out of Onitsha to elsewhere. Because Monday is almost the most important day of the week. That's when suppliers, the people demanding for goods, that's when they must go and open up. So if you are not opening, people are opening, relocating elsewhere. That's what we mean by the cost to the state. The place will keep getting down and down economically. And like I said before, we're not going to train our children in the 21st century by going to school 4 days a week. Absolute nonsense. And this, of course, obviously, has stopped. We're going to open the schools, and we're going to take the same measures. If you are running a private school, if you are not open, I'll come and slam it and lock it up. Because we've given you the permission to operate there as a school. And in Anambra, the school days are Monday through Friday. If you are going to close it for any day, you've got to get a special permission. Somebody says, it is their right. It is your right. Fair enough. But I also have a right to even revoke the ownership of that place in public interest. If we start exercising rights, everybody starts exercising his right and powers, then that will get us, it's a road to nowhere. Somebody drew my attention to somebody shouting, show us the law. Don't complain when I bring out the full laws. Don't complain when I bring out the full laws. And for main market particularly, it's owned by the state government. And by the way, we already have a design, a master plan of the new main market. Okay? We've been restraining because we've been thinking about alternative ways of doing it. If push comes to a shove, I will give you a notice to come and carry out your things. I want to level the place and rebuild it. Push comes to a shove, I will give you a notice very quickly. It's my property. It's the government's property. And sooner or later, if this pushes again, we're going to cancel all allocations in that place. We'll cancel them. If you don't show up, we're going to revoke your ownership of that shop, and I will give it up to Agona Chamber as the alternative office. That also is within the law. You're asking me to show you the law. If I bring them the laws out, don't complain. And a new law is in the making. Because these places that become of significant economic interest for the state, for the survival of the state, if you want to transact business there, you cannot just do as you wish. Your activities become central to the survival of the state. And so you can't, if you agree to do business there, I will revoke all the ownership there and you'll come for a certification. And the terms and conditions must be that you'll be open 6 days a week. And if you are not open any day, you must take permission because you're occupying a place of special economic interest. If you don't, I'll take back my shop. We'll revoke your ownership there. At least under the Land Use Act, whether it is private market or whatever, if you don't open, like all these markets that I hear, Mbuka, what is it? Building materials or whatever thing. You say it is private, I will revoke the ownership of that market and take it over. hand it over to Aguna Chamber as their new office. We are determined to, on this fight, we are planned. If you want it to plan to last for the remainder of this year, we are prepared. Enough is enough. Many of them are occupying the places illegally. When they don't have proper documentation, proper papers. When they don't have, we know the illegal structures there. Proper authorization, proper permits, and so on and so forth. If I take a bulldozer to the place tomorrow, you clear more than half of those things there. People talking about the law. We don't want to deal with this and pull out the full weight of the law. But if we are pushed, we are not even shy to deploy them. Like we said, people are open every day. During the Christmas, they opened on Sundays and Mondays and everywhere, every time. And now under normal days, on Mondays, you are everywhere, playing in the streets. That's the day now you go for sporting. That's the day you have neighborhood meetings and you say it is sit at home. You're not sitting at home. It's now calculated economic sabotage to bring down Onitsha, to bring down Nnewi, to bring down the economy of the state. And I will tell you what, you can do that with any other person, but not with this governor standing here. We are determined on behalf of the Anambra people, we must take back our state. We are going to take back our state, whatever it costs. We are determined. I want to reassure you and call on everybody, all our people. We have exercised restraint. Since it could be said since 2023, anybody saying that they didn't open the shops because of insecurity is just delusional. Even the go around some other places more insecure and the places are open. Onitsha for all places. Main market with over 150 security personnel there. They are saying the reason you are not open is because of insecurity. Absolute nonsense. But you're there, you are in the stadium playing. Okay? You're in the stadium playing. But insecurity allows you to go to a stadium to play. Allows you to be doing workouts on the roads. Allows street trading all over the place. The roads are blocked with street trading. But insecurity doesn't allow you to open your shop at the main market. Huh? So, all I said to you, my dear friends, is that there is a time for everything. For 2024, 2025, we've been very patient. Let's say that 2023, 2022, just the 2 years that were used to have a massive onslaught on these criminal elements. And by the way, it's not yet 100%. We're still massively launching massive onslaught on these criminal elements in our state. And Anambra is currently, without any doubt, one of the safest states in Nigeria. We'll claim to be the safest, but probably at least even the enemy will agree that we're one of the safest states in Nigeria. Anybody talking about this again as the reason is right, just absolutely. So I call on everybody, let's come together. The Anambra, when we set our mind to it, we'll get it done. When we set our minds to it, we'll get it done. Saboteurs, the criminal elements, and their sponsors, particularly some politicians who think it is something to play transient politics with. You're encouraging people, you are sabotaging your own place, your own people. You say it is politics. It is not politics, my dear. This is about livelihood. This is about the future. It is about the future of our children. It is about the future of that poor woman on the street who has to hawk something on Monday to earn a living. It is about being able to have investors who are already flooding in to have the comfort that they have a full work week. It is about our prosperity. It is about our security. Because if you deny 20% of the work days in a year, you are dampening our prosperity. Jobs that need to be created, incomes that need to be earned. That's what this is about. And it should be simple enough to be understood by everybody. 2024, 2025 will be very patient, pleading. 2022, 2023, we're busy fighting all of this. 2026, we're turning on gear 4. Anybody that closes any of it will help you close it for the next week. If you like holidays, we help you. But going forward, we'll now come after and take those from you and give to those who are ready to use them. At least we'll have some powers in that regard. Market cannot open because it is your private district. I also have powers to revoke your ownership of that place in public interest. And we are going to be deploying this in coming weeks. We are still open. We're open to some conversation. But as for keeping those shops open, there is no negotiation about it. It's either that they are open or we use them for something else. Main market, for now, as it is currently structured, as our biggest market, Newi, all these markets, building materials, head bridge, this and so on and so forth. I have a meeting with their leadership tomorrow, once again, for us to have because by Monday, those of them, any of them that fails to be open again, going to be locked, maybe for 2 weeks in the first instance, before we begin to take over some of them. But main market, if it remains closed again, we're going to now shut it down. And every trader who wants to be there has to bring his document, because I would then assume that all those who have shops there are criminals. If you have there, you come and prove your ownership, and I will personally now oversee the allocation of shops back there. We're not joking with this. We're very clear about what must happen. The new Anambra that we are spending 24/7 building must come to happen. God has willed it, and we humans must make it happen. Thank you very much, and God bless you.